We are going to make a loaded egg omelet this morning. I'm going to start off with 2 eggs beaten, some cheese. There's probably 2 or 3 different kinds of cheeses there. You can use just regular cheddar cheese, will be fine. Spinach, a baked potato that I pre-cooked in the microwave for about 4 minutes, and then I've put some garlic salt and olive oil on it and then cut it up. Peelings were left on. Ham chunks. Over here in the pan I've started sauteing some sweet onions that I had chopped up, and then some red bell pepper. Usually for this recipe I like to use green bell peppers, but in this case all I had were the little sweet red peppers, and they're just as delicious, so you can use either one of those. You want to just kind of saute these a little bit and then start adding your next ingredients, which I will add the spinach next, let it cook down, the potatoes, and then add the meat. I'm going to cook this down until the meat starts getting a little bit brown on the edges. Look at how that starts crisping up a little bit. Now I've added the egg to the mixture, and I'm going to sprinkle the cheese over it. Once that starts melting down, we'll fold it, and our omelet will be ready. You can see the edges are starting to get ready to flip it. With a few extra steps, you can make this omelet look very festive for Christmas. I have added just some cinnamon bread. You can buy this at your local grocery store, or if you have some specialty bread or want to make homemade bread. I just used some little bitty cookie cutters. And then over here for the ornament, I just took my omelet, and you don't have to have a stuffed omelet like we've done, and just take a glass and cut out a circle. I've added just some regular old American cheese, and then we've taken the bell pepper, and then I've cut the top off to make it look like a Christmas ornament. I'm going to add a little bit of butter and syrup on this, and then I'll microwave it to melt the butter for probably no more now, guys, than probably about 10 seconds. You don't want your bread to get hard, but you do want to let that melt. So if you want your cheese to melt a little bit more, I would suggest doing that first and then going over and heating your bread. Okay, I've added the butter and then the syrup on top, and we're going to microwave it probably for about 10 seconds. And then it's ready to eat, and I am sure your kids will love it. Even the big kids too. Now I know everyone doesn't have rosemary growing in their backyard, but you can purchase this in the specialty section of most grocery stores or a Publix. I think that's the one that carries it here in a small town. But just gives you some. We're going to rinse these off and dry them, and then I'm going to show you how to construct a wreath. Okay, I've got it right here drying. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab my platter, which I have here, and then I've got some floral tape. For this recipe, I'm going to be using squash and zucchini. I'm going to coat it lightly with some olive oil, ranch dressing or ranch seasoning, and then use some Parmesan cheese in it. We're going to place it in the oven and then cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to make an artichoke crab dip. And here I've added a half a cup of mayo, a half a cup of sour cream, 1 8-ounce thing of cream cheese, and you can add like 1 to maybe 2 cups of cheese in it. I have added about a half a cup of cheese because I'm going to be topping mine with some mozzarella slices. And then also you're going to need some crab meat. I've added in some spinach. And then I took the artichoke hearts that are in the jar. I've used probably about 1/4 of a cup. And you want to rinse them off. When they were in the jar, I rinsed them and then chopped them up because I don't like a lot of that. They're in like an olive oil with all kind of different seasonings with it. But just to make it a little bit milder, I'll go ahead and give mine a quick rinse. Mix that all up. I've pulled the squash out of the oven, and I'm going to top it with the dip and then lay a slice of mozzarella on top of it. Put it back in the oven at 400, probably for about 5 minutes.